Mama, I think they coming for my freedom. They wanna call me Desert Eagle. A bunch of egos, I don't feed them. No, they gon' love me, then they leave them. I was playing on a C note. It made my baby bend down.
What up, everybody? Back again with another video. This time we are looking at a pistol, and I mentioned that I was going to be getting my hands on this one last week, and here we are. So this is the new Desert Eagle L5 in, that's right, the only way to get it, 50 AE. Now, those of you guys that have seen some of my previous videos, especially over the years, know that I've had quite a few of these Desert Eagles, and I've been a big fan forever. You know, it's hard not to be a fan when there are so many references to this gun in movies and in Hollywood and in video games, and you just name it, and everybody knows what this thing is. But, you know, it's kind of one of those guns, you know, you have it for a little bit. Maybe, you know, if you're a collector and you like to hold on to your stuff, this is something that everybody's got to have. But for some other people, myself included, this is one of those guns you kind of get an itch for, and then you kind of, you know, you're over it after a little while, and then you get it back, and, you know, you kind of go through that cycle. But I will tell you just kind of some pros and cons about first of all, the Desert Eagle platform. This is a little bit different. This is very different from the Desert Eagles that I've had before, because this is a lot lighter, and I'll go into that real quick about what makes the L lineup, the new L5 and the new L6, different from the previous Desert Eagle models, and that is that they have done two different things. So first off, the frame is no longer steel, it is now aluminum. So this entire frame that the slide and the barrel sit on is entirely made of aluminum. Really doesn't really weigh much, to be honest with you. Super light. And then the barrel and the slide are still stainless steel in this case, but they are steel regardless of what finish you get. But they've done a lot of milling, as you can see here. And we'll go through some of the stuff in detail, but it's just the milling of all the steel components and the changing of the frame from steel to aluminum that has cut down a significant amount of weight. And by significant, I mean, if you're looking at an L6, which is the full 6-inch barrel, this is the L5, so this is a 5-inch barrel. But the L6, compared to the standard 6-inch Desert Eagle, is a pound savings. And on the 5-inch, you're looking at over that. It's about 1.25 pounds or so. So that's a lot of weight to shed off of a pistol, and it's still heavy. I mean, it's still a chunky gun. It's, you know, it's definitely not a lightweight by any means, but it definitely is noticeably lighter, and that should definitely help with a lot, including recoil impulse. So one of the things about the Desert Eagle is that people kind of perceive it to be you know, just kind of one of these niche guns that has really no you know, practicality or real life use. And it couldn't really be farther from the truth, and I'll tell you why. It doesn't matter what gun, what caliber, what size, what, you know, pistol, rifle, whatever, right? It really comes down to, are you able to effectively use it? Are you confident with it? Are you educated thoroughly on all of its functions, on how to go about checking for any malfunctions, on what possibilities could be causing malfunctions, so on and so forth. How well do you know your gun, right? How often do you use it and practice with it? If it's a gun that you are accurate with, if it's a gun that you can reload quickly, that you can clear out malfunctions with quickly, that you can hit your target every single time within a split second without any hesitation, then it's a gun that you can use on a day-to-day basis. Now, is this the gun that everybody is going to be able to use? Absolutely not. It's definitely rare for anybody to want to use these in any type of, you know, work or service function day-to-day carry use or anything like that. However, that's not to say that it doesn't have its place. One thing in common that I've had with every single Desert Eagle that I've owned is that they are super accurate. They are, without a doubt in my mind, the most accurate pistol I've ever used. Okay. And part of that is you really can't miss when you have a 6-inch barrel. It's hard to. However, you still have to do your part in making sure that you're not anticipating recoil, and that, your trigger pulls are nice and clean in order to hit your target accurately. However, if you get that part down, the gun itself does its job. It's an easy gun to hit bullseyes all day long with. Now, this is the first time I'm owning a sub 6-inch Desert Eagle, so I still have to take this out to the range to make sure that holds true. But take my word for it, Desert Eagles are very accurate. Reliability has kind of been where this platform has been really hit or miss. This model came out within the last year. Quality control, I don't think is really, the strong suit of Magnum Research or Car Firearms. And the reason I say that is because when I first opened this thing up, I noticed little things. Like, for example, that line, that crease right there at the end of the barrel does not quite line up with the slide, right? So when it was machined, it was machined slightly off as compared to this side, okay? Now, is it a coincidence that the 50 AE is etched into this side, therefore it's going to have more, it's going to be more noticeable if it was off on this side, and maybe that's why they took the extra time to machine this properly? I don't know. It's possible. But, the other things that I've noticed was, they test fire these out of the factory. These cartridges, these 300 grain 50A cartridges, and the fact that this is gas operated, it leaves a lot of carbon behind. A lot. Even if you fired, let's say, 1 mag out of this thing, so 7 rounds, it's going to leave behind a lot of powder and a lot of carbon. And they did not even bother to clean this thing. And it was brand spanking new. Little things like that. They didn't oil it at all. I mean, there was hardly any lubrication on this thing. Little things like that. Those are the things that can cause those malfunctions, and for people to think that they are getting not what they paid $2,000+ for. In that respect, I'm very disappointed with Magnum Research, and I believe that they need to do their due diligence to make sure that they are giving you top quality for your money, because these are not cheap, and that can be said about every model that they sell of Desert Eagle, especially in the 50 caliber. The cheapest ones I've seen are the black anodized or the battle worn Cerakote, and they're still like $1,700-$1,800. Not cheap for a pistol. One of the most expensive pistols you can buy, and there are also tooling marks. It's hard to see. You can kind of see it in between the serrations, but there are tooling marks kind of all over this thing. It's not a finely tuned 1911. It's not a high class pistol. It's definitely more of a niche item in that regard. It's kind of, they know that they're going to sell them. They don't give a damn, but again, I find it really hard to believe that for the money that you're charging on these things, that you're not taking a little bit more, precaution when it comes to quality control. But with that being said, the rest of this milling is actually really nice. So they did a good job at, milling the barrel, and you can see right here, the pick rail, milling out the top, milling out the comp, did a nice job there. So they did a nice job overall. It's just little things like that where if you have OCD like me, it'll irk you, but it's kind of what you have to put up with if you're buying a Desert Eagle, unfortunately. But I had to take it apart. I had to clean the crap out of it. I had to lube it up. I already saw where there were wear marks, from it being racked, God knows how many times at the shop, and from it being test fired. So it's one of those things. Very, very disappointing, but at the same time, I know for a fact that, after taking this thing apart, after, you know, cleaning it out and lubing it up properly. It should not have any malfunctions after it's been broken in. From my experience, you know, 100 rounds should do it. There's just so much power behind that round that it doesn't take a whole lot to get this thing nice and loose and to get all the tolerances where they need to be in order for it to function reliably. So I could tell you guys that, you know, overall, they are a lot of fun to shoot. This is the gun that you kind of pull out at the end of the day at the range, and you just fire off, you know, a magazine or two, and you just put that big smile on your face, you know, just kind of blow off all the rest of the steam that you got left over, and you go home happy. You know, this is what that gun, what the Desert Eagle is really best at, in my opinion. Now, does it have a practical functionality? Absolutely. You know, if you are going to be hiking where there's, you know, where there are big game animals, if you know that there are bears out there, cougars or whatnot, there's a video actually lately of a guy that was being stalked by a mountain lion out in I think it was California. But yeah, if you're going to be going out on a hike like that, definitely a good option to have with you. And because it is lighter weight than it was before, it's not too uncomfortable to carry this thing around if you're going on a hike. Outside of that, I know that the Israeli military uses these things at checkpoints to try to blow out the motors on basically guys that are trying to bust through the gates. So that's kind of cool. And believe me that this fucking round can do it. So outside of that, is there a lot of practical use that you can get out of it? Maybe. I mean, if you've got balls, you'll carry this thing around. As long as you can get it concealed, I would have mad respect for anybody that carries this thing on a day-to-day basis. But that's probably not going to be what I'm doing with it. But ultimately, the Desert Eagle is a super fun gun to shoot. It can definitely have some practical use to it if you get creative, or if you live in bear country, or anywhere where there are, you know, big game animals that are out there. Definitely has its uses, but ultimately this is something to go and basically just use at the range and make people shit their pants next door to you. Trust me, if that's all it was for, it's worth every dollar. It's fun. It's so much fun. And like I said, it's pretty easy to hit your bullseyes, so you'll look like a G. You'll look like RoboCop sitting there shooting this damn thing and getting bullseyes every damn shot. And one thing I gotta end off with, there's not a whole heck of a lot that I could tell you about a Desert Eagle that you probably don't already know. But one thing I can tell you about these L5 and L6 models, I'm telling you, they are way, way lighter than what you're used to with a Desert Eagle. And I think, I wish I would have taken some shots out of this thing before I made this video, just to kind of give you guys that regard of you know, how it actually shoots. But I could already tell you, having owned, you know, 6+ Desert Eagles previously, all in 50 AE, just the weight savings on this, it's going to help. The comp is going to help. And it wasn't that bad to begin with. The recoil on the Desert Eagles is not horrible. It's just kind of that first shot that you're sort of anticipating to be like shooting a cannon. But then after you get that first shot out of the way, you're kind of like, man, that wasn't so bad. You know, if you get a good hold on this thing, get a good purchase on it, there's no reason why you can't even get really quick follow-up shots and be very accurate with it. So take that for what it is, guys. As always, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell if you want to be up to speed with all the new videos that are coming out. And keep those comments coming, because I enjoy responding to you guys if and when you have questions or comments. So I hope you guys enjoyed the content. I will see you guys next time with another new pistol caliber carbine. So we'll talk about that one later. Take care, guys. Peace out.